Welcome back. She's Jenna Harner. I'm Kevin Case. And Jenna, there were a few sectional games going on this evening, but one game in particular stood out.
One game, you're talking about the Class C tournament. Notre Dame and OdessaMontour played an absolute barn burner, and you were there.
I was there. I was happy I was there. It was a great game. 5th-seeded Notre Dame playing at 4th-seeded OdessaMontour in the quarterfinals. We'll pick it up in the third quarter. Mary Foster going to work for END. On offense, nice post move for the layup, and then other end on defense, Foster using those long arms to get the block. Notre Dame led by as many as 10 in the middle of the quarter, but by the end of the third, OM got back into it. Jillian Clark open in the corner, buries the three. Indians trailed just 34-31 headed into the fourth. Fast forward 2 minutes left in the game now. OM would take the lead. Clark again from downtown. Wow. Indians up 45-44. But then Mary Foster, well, she went back to work. She would score 4 straight points, 2 from the free throw line after drawing the foul here. And then very next possession, Notre Dame on the fast break a little bit. She scores on this layup. Crusaders up by 3. OM would get one last chance, Jenna. 4 seconds to go. Jillian Clark from way deep, but it's no dice. The Crusaders, they survive and advance to the Class C semifinals with a 50-47 win over OdessaMontour.
So then it was time to move up a class. 4th-seeded Waverly girls hosting 5th-seeded Chenango Forks. And Forks took the lead early on the inbounds. Katie Flynn, she's going to beat about every single Wolverine in sight on her way to the hoop. And with that, the Blue Devils led 15-7. But Waverly loved to play comeback. Wendy Hammond here, she's going to get this pass off of the steal, find Ellie Nittinger cross court for the hoop and the call. The 3-point play made it a 3-point game. And then this one was lethal. Hammond kicks it out to Sydney Tommaso from way downtown, and all of a sudden, Kev, it was a 2-point game. So then some give and go action here on the inbounds from Nittinger to Hammond. Hammond's going to find her way back to Nittinger, and she goes up for the money ball. That gave Waverly their first lead of the game, but they weren't done from the arc. Hammond to Alex Tommaso, who drains that one. Wolverines took the 25-19 lead. They went on to dominate in the second half with a final 57-31. They finished the game on a 51-15 run. They'll advance to the semifinals next week.
It's a heck of a run. Elsewhere in another girls Class C quarterfinal, top-seeded Watkins Glen walloped Walton 54-27. Amanda Pike led the Senecas with 34 on the evening. Watkins Glen, Jenna, they'll take on 4th-seeded Elmira Notre Dame in the semifinals at TC3 on Tuesday. Looking forward to that one.
Looking forward to that. So we're going to head back to the Waverly boys for the matchup. They were hosting 7th-seeded Chenango Valley, and the Wolverines, they started out rolling. Hunter Bodine on the inbounds, the give and go to John Ward. Check out that move. Waverly, they took the first points in this one, and then off of the block here, John Ward launches it over to Matt Van Houten for the one-handed slammer. Top play alert there. Wolverines, they're up by 4. And then Ward on the drive, a little cheeky move out to a wide open Gavin Judson. Wolverines led 11-6. But Valley, they stayed in it. Pat Baczynski here, he's going to go for the quick move to the hoop to cut Waverly's lead to just 3. And Waverly, though, they did hold it down on defense. John Ward off of this pass here, he's going to find Gavin Judson at the elbow. You know how this one goes, Kev. Drains it. Waverly led 14-8 late in the first, and then as time was winding away, Bodine looking for the hoop. Brandon Cantrell, his shot just a tad off, but the tip-in at the buzzer.
The buzzer beater.
Buzzer beater tip-in. Waverly, they led 22-10 at the half, and they went on to advance to the semis with a 55-48 win. And on the road tonight in Class AA action, 4th-seeded Binghamton, they were hosting 5th-seeded Elmira. Second quarter express, trying to pull off the somewhat comeback. Jared Ginta gets that rebound, and that puts Elmira up by 6. He finished with 24 on the night, but the Patriots fired back quickly. Mohamed Trammell open and connects. That cut the deficit in half. He finished with 28 on the night, so high scoring for pretty much everybody. But a timeout here. After a timeout, Nick Gregorius, the jumper, that sinks. So this game, it went down to the wire, but Binghamton would prevail. The Express fall to the Patriots with a final 68-67.
1 point loss. Tough play for a season to end. Last highlight of the night here, Jenna. Jackals looking to snap a 16-game losing streak, hosting the Florida Everblades. I don't know if the thing with the beach ball is going to help them.
I don't know.
We'll see. First period, believe it or not, Jackals, they would score first. Matt Lane's original shot is saved Puck eventually gets recycled back up top, and it ends up with Lane once again. He scores, slides one past the Florida keeper. Jackals take a 1-0 lead, 8 minutes left in the first. And then they do their best to kind of hang on to that lead. Second period, off the face-off, Brent Harris fires, but Andy Isles makes the save, and then it's Isles again here.
Oh my gosh.
Doing the splits. Pretty good save there.
Pretty nice save.
It came right in front, but Florida would eventually get on the board. That's a goal there for the Everblades up top. That's Zach Camras on the shot. Actually gets tipped in by his teammate, but that wouldn't matter, Jenna, because
wouldn't matter.
Eventually the Jackals, the streak is over.
The streak is over.
They come out to win 3-1. Davis Van Dane, Kenton Miller scored in the third. Jackals beat the Everblades, and the streak's over.
Streak is over. Well, other hockey action, Cornell women, they took game 1 of the ECAC quarterfinals over Colgate. Kristen O'Neill scored on a penalty shot with just over 4 minutes in regulation. Big Red can advance to the semis of that tournament with a win over the Raiders tomorrow. And the Big Red men also found success on the night. They earned the 2-0 shutout over RPI. Mitch Gillum recorded 31 saves on the evening for Cornell. Now they host Union tomorrow night in the final game of the regular season.